to Memories of Making Movies, Mission Milano. And I couldn't get more alliteration out of that if I tried. I spent around a week working on this movie in the spring of 2016. I was playing a mercenary. Again, still. One of the first things I was reminded of by working on another movie is that Chinese double extra large is not the same size as American double extra large. This shirt reminded me a lot. I could barely bend my arms to about here. And just like in From Vegas to Macau 2, there were no pants that fit me and they had to make me a pair, while the whole production waited. The funny thing was, one of the wardrobe people said, "You know, this has only ever happened to us once before." And I said, "Yeah, it was me, Vegas to Macau 2. And she looked at me and went, "Yeah, you're right." I was supposed to be a Ukrainian mercenary. I'm not Ukrainian, but I guess I play one in a Wong Jing movie. But I had an awful lot of fun because I got to see how the movie was made and I got to meet people like Ken Lo and Fung Bobo. She was very surprised that I knew who she was and that I had seen Wonder Mama, one of my favorite films from last year. I took a photo with her and all the mercenaries took photos with her too, and to be honest, I'm not really sure who had more fun, her or us. I didn't get to meet Andy Lau making this movie, but I did get to see his luggage. And he had a lot of it, but that's because he's Andy Lau. In the scene that I'm in, Huang Xiaoming and Michelle Hu come into a warehouse in the Ukraine to meet with the bad guys. I had met Michelle Hu before while working on Sifu vs. Vampire, but I got to speak with her a little bit this time. She actually asked me for my WeChat because she wants to practice her English. And I can assure you, that's not a euphemism. She just wants to practice her English. Huang Xiaoming was actually very nice. He speaks a little bit of English and I think he understands some Cantonese. And remember I told you about how that shirt was kind of small? And you might say to yourself, really? How small? Well, this small. As a result, one day while waiting for them to readjust the cameras, Huang Xiaoming walked past me and he looked at me and he reached out and luckily his hand was gloved and he touched my nipple. And I was so freaked out, I didn't know how to respond. The first thing I did was to look at one of the other mercenaries and say, "Did you see that?" And luckily he said yes, so I have corroboration. And it was just really weird. This summer I was interviewed by a Chinese language website, and I encouraged them that the title of the article should be "Huang Xiaoming touched my nipple," because let's face it, that's clickbait. And it's still the truth. It was weird, but at least I got a good story out of it. Speaking of which, Huang Xiaoming's mother was visiting him, and she asked, through an interpreter, if she could take a picture with me. Of course I said yes. And so naturally, me being me, I had a little fun and we did a couple of different kinds of pictures. And I figured, you know, if she enjoys it, if she's happy, I'm happy. As I said in the review, one of the things that impressed me the most was seeing how hard the crew members worked on this movie. Regardless of what you think of the finished product, these guys work really, really hard, and I always admire them for that. I'm sure there's things that I've forgotten to tell you, but quite honestly, those are the best parts. I also enjoyed working on this movie and I met a lot of fun and interesting people, and I just want to say I'm grateful for the opportunity. Thanks. See you next time for more Memories of Making Movies.